day. From U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's a special New Year's Eve edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
It's a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
On first down, Hurts. He'll fight his man, Laviska Shenault. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Eagle first down.
Miles Sanders first carry of the game. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. On a man down, and it's Sanders. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. So here come the Vikings with a long field ahead of them. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
I know you saw in your email that the ballots will be coming in after this week's games for league MVP. You've got a vote, I've got a vote. We're getting ready to see a closing argument in this one, though. Can he lock it down?
Week 17, the last act. We're not supposed to say who we're voting for, but I can say this. He's in the stadium right now. So there you go. There's my hint.
There's your hint right there. I'm going to wait until after this one is over. He's got to sway me with one more performance.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he can run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And normally when you see guys move it this fast, it might be a fly pattern from a receiver or a toss sweep from a tailback or something like that. This was designed as a passing play, and then he got out of the pocket, and he just took off. And he just kept gaining momentum with every step.
And if you're looking for proof of his speed, Next Gen Stats shows that he was traveling just over 21 miles an hour there. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Excellent play there on third down, give him 25 yards. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
This passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate. Gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage, but now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint here.
So I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term.
And now look at him go. Touchdown, Philadelphia. James Washington, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
It got his man complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. We'll make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover him. That's how we then just...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now he can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's polished off by a Viking score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. James Washington making his way back out towards the huddle. Unless he has a Julio Jones-type 300-yard game in him that Julio did against the Panthers in 2016, probably not going to reach 1,000, but still pretty good year.
I think you're right.
They're trying for Rager, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. To sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
We'll see if they can do it here. And now this throw complete to Washington. Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Philadelphia. James Washington, 76 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch. Better cover guy to him, or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. 23 yards, the final tally. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. To throw again, Rivers. He's going to go up top again. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Third down and 10 yards to go.
On third down, Rivers. Flushed out right. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 27 yards there on a very nice third down conversion.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Rolling to his right. This one brought in by Jefferson. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Rivers again. toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
On second down, it's Thomas. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the... And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
The kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. James Washington making his way back out towards the huddle. He's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season, but you read the local paper this morning. There was no talk of that mark. They interviewed him, and he wasn't talking about 1,000 yards. The old cliche focused on this game. If he has a big one, might be able to get the win and the 1,000 yards.
Seems like he just wants to let it come to him, right, as opposed to trying to force it. That's probably the right idea and the right attitude. So game situation, play calling will dictate things. Now, how does he get there once he tries to get...
As Sanders has it poked free, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them pass it, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the...
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That could be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. Phillip Rivers, he is the focal point of our player's spotlight now. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes. And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right? Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going. Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time. They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. Now they air it out to start the drive, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, and that'll bring up second down.
At the 35-yard line.
Throwing again, Rivers. That's taken in by Callaway. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 43. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. To the air again here, Rivers. Airing it out deep for Smith. It's caught at the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Smith touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
James Washington making his way back out towards the huddle. He's probably someone they want to get more involved at this point. Second quarter down on the scoreboard, and you know that he can be a threat.
And because he's such a threat, as well as so productive, I'm with you on this. They've got to get him the ball more, give him more opportunities for them to have a chance to erase that lead.
Certainly they'll be looking to get him even more in the mix this go-around. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Hurts. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
10 at the 45-yard line.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. From the gun, Rivers. Complete. Jefferson the target. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 26 big yards on that one. It's another 1st down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Laviska Shenault, the intended target, but now it's 3rd down.
He was covered by Stephon Gilmore.
Play action. Here's Hurts. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Here's Thomas. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. It is the...
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And that'll be a little too hot to handle. It will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And these guys locked into that #1 seed. That's been a foregone conclusion for a while now. The question on everyone's mind, can they finish the regular season a perfect 16-0?
And it all comes back to philosophy of the organization, philosophy of the head coach, and, of course, the locker room itself. What do the players want to do? And I think what most teams would do in this situation is approach it, let's win every game, but let's be smart about doing it. So that doesn't mean that they're going to go all out if, indeed, they do need to rest a few people.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down. The ball away, and it falls incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
Similar to a shooter in basketball who just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
Now, he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. Ryan will throw again. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Give him 22 there on the third down conversion. So first and 10. And if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They'll roll him out right. His throw caught at about the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 2 jump plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on first and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. They run with Thomas. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Thomas. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. No movement from the field goal unit. They've got 4 full yards to go here on 4th and goal to hit pay dirt, but they're going to go for it. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Matt Ryan. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Philadelphia.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. He was trying to get that ball to Auden Tate, but it's going to be second down. Here's Hurts to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Sacked. A loss of 12 yards.
A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Returnable for Thomas. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Vikings head out to take over once again. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a...
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And this offense is running away with this one. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving. And he'll bang that one through. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about all your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. He'll fire it deep for Rager. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
Fair catch made at the 28-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10.
Adam Thielen, he gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. For him, what an accomplishment in this game, surpassing the 2,000-yard mark. And all the time we talk about these guys out wide like him that are so athletic and can do so many things. But take us a little deeper. How has he done it this year?
Well, you helped with this because when we sat down with him before the game and discussed his season, and you said to him, okay, I have a vision that you, similar to a pitcher, change up a lot of things, right? Different arm angles, different slots that a pitcher would do. You do that with your route running and all that. And I loved his response. He said, yeah, I do that. But one of his best friends is a world-ranked tennis player, and he talked about serves and how you change up, take pace off, do different things, and he incorporated that into his route running.
He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, and now it's 3rd down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this. Third quarter of play.
14.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now it's the backup Cousins. He's going to try and go deep again. It's caught inside the 25. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. It's a gain of 35. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Derek Barnett able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Play action now. Cousins. His throw incomplete. Tajay Sharp, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Herb Smith Jr. with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on.
They mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I probably send a note to the clock operator. Let it run.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. 25-yard line. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. He was covered by Stephon Gilmore. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Hurts. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. It's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Sanders has it over the middle. There he goes, right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
And you've got to imagine the celebration is already well underway. Smiles on that sideline. Still a little time left, but 16-0 appears to almost be a certainty now.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era when we think about sportsmanship.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Cousins throw complete to Thielen. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 35. A good pickup there at 22.
I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a first and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 7 yards there in the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
3rd down and 10 yards.
Back to throw again. And that will be incomplete. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 29 yards.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
Darius Slay on the coverage.
Cousins here to throw. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
This one brought in by Jefferson.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line.
Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown. And the blowout continues.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. On first down, Hurts. And his throw is incomplete. Laviska Shenault, the intended target.
That'll bring up second down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
They go play action with Hurts. He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
12 yards there and a first down. From the gun, it's Hurts.
That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Jalen Reagor was the intended receiver.
And now it's second down.
This is Shenault on the receiving end.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at third down here.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Vikings, they've indeed run the table here on the regular season. They finish a perfect 16-0, joining the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to ever do so. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, this loss will be the capper to a dismal 4-12 campaign. And with some high picks coming in this spring's draft, it's a team for whom a roster overhaul may be on the way.